Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are fit and fine. So today we're going to study the new chapter, that is chapter 11, soil, formation, erosion and conservation. So here are some inside the chapter points: usefulness of soil, the process of soil formation, next soil erosion, next erosion by wind, water and human activities, and the next point soil conservation, next growing grains, building dams, afforestation, terrace farming, and the last point soil pollution. So we're going to study this chapter step by step. So the first one, soil. Soil is the uppermost layer of the earth's crust. It consists of a mixture of minute particles of rocks, mineral, dust and remains of dead plants and animals. It also contains air and water in it. Soil is very useful for all living things. In fact, life on land depends on soil. It supports the growth of plants, and we all are dependent on plants for our basic needs like food, clothing and shelter. Soil is also the home of for many organisms like bacteria, fungi, worms and insects. Okay. Now we come to the point formation of soil. So here it is saying the formation of soil happens over a very long period of time, and the process by which soil formation take place is called weathering. Okay. So weathering is a very slow and gradual process during which the parent rock break down into fine particles. The large rocks are initially broken down into small pieces by natural events like earthquake. The process of weathering is carried further by other agents like temperature changes, frost, water, wind and living organisms. It takes 200 to 400 years for the formation of just 1 centimeter of topsoil. Okay. Now we're going to talk about next point, that is one step ahead. It is saying natural forces like wind, rain and running water help in soil formation because it transfer the soil from place to place, and that's why each and every region is having different kind of soil. Okay. Here you can see in this figure, in this diagram, the ground level is shown here and the topsoil is shown here. There are like various types and various type of we can say that the soil is in the various background you can see. Okay, so the first one is topsoil, the second is subsoil, and the third one weathered parent rock, and the last layer is bedrock. Okay, here you can see the layers of soil. So next one, soil is composed of 3 layers. The uppermost layer of soil is called the topsoil. The uppermost layer is called the topsoil. It is dark in color as it is rich in humus, which is good for the growth of plants. It is the most fertile layer, this topsoil. Then humus is formed by the dead and decaying parts of plants and animals. Just below the topsoil is a light colored layer called the subsoil. It contains less humus as compared to the topsoil, and below the subsoil there is a layer of lumps of parent rock, and then below this is non-porous and unweathered bedrock, okay, which are like closely packed. Okay, next one, soil erosion. Soil erosion take place when the uppermost layer of the soil the topsoil, it get carried away by natural agents like wind, rain and floods. This carrying away of the topsoil from one place to another by natural agent is called soil erosion. Deforestation is the major cause of soil erosion. So what does this deforestation mean? It means like cutting large amount of trees. That is known as deforestation. When the fertile topsoil is eroded, the less fertile subsoil comes to the surface. So subsoil take place of the topsoil, okay, which led to the falling crop production, and gradually the land loses its fertility and becomes barren. Okay, in Hindi it is known as Banjar Zameen. Okay, so activities like deforestation and overgrazing by animals also contribute in this soil erosion. Okay, contribute towards soil erosion. So like cutting deep, like large amount of trees is known as deforestation, and overgrazing. Overgrazing means the animals who like overly eat the food, eat the grass and crops. Okay, that also leads towards soil erosion. Okay, here in the figure you can see how the plant is held by the topsoil. If that topsoil get eroded, then the plant can't be held firmly. Okay, next is there like erosions by various kind. So the next one is erosion by wind. Topsoil is easily carried away by strong winds. The strong winds, we can say storm one. Okay, erosion due to wind is the greatest in areas where there is less vegetation, where there is less crop production. Okay, so plantation restricts soil erosion by wind. So how can we stop the soil erosion by wind? By planting the by planting large amount of crops. Okay, so that can restrict the soil erosion by wind. Here you can see how by the help of wind the soil got eroded. Next one, erosion by water. Heavy rain or running water washes away the topsoil, causing soil erosion, and heavy soil erosion occurs in hilly areas because river water flow faster on the slopes, on this slopy area, and washes away the fertile soil, the topsoil. Okay, on reaching the plains, when that water reached the plain area, the river slow down its flow, and the soil thus carried away and is deposited at the bottom of the river. This is called silting. This is called silting. And if the erosion in the hilly area continues for a longer time, the amount of soil spread in the plain over the year will be huge, and this can make the river change its course. Okay, here you can see the image how soil erosion, soil get eroded by water. Next it is saying soil erosion causes water pollution also. It can also lead to landslide, and a landslide is moving of loose rocks down a slope of hill or mountain, and this results in the loss of life and property. Okay, next we're gonna study about erosion due to human activities. So here are there are some human activities by which the soil got eroded. So the first one, we need wood for many purposes. To meet the demand of wood, man has been cutting down the trees in the forest. The cutting down of all the trees in an area is known as deforestation. Okay, it is the major cause of soil erosion, this deforestation. And when trees are cut down, soil become loose, okay, and is easily carried away by the wind or water. Next, it is saying overgrazing by animals is a particular in a particular area makes the land barren, and this too results in soil erosion. Then the land can't be able to grow the crops. Okay, then plowing of farmland also loosen the soil. Wind or water can easily carry the loosened soil away. Next point, sometimes soil is left bare for a long time after harvesting. Okay, so this unprotected soil can be easily blown away. Next is here in the figure also you can see this barren land. Okay, you can also see this deforestation which leads to soil erosion, and you can also see the plowing of land. Next one, soil conservation. So what do you mean by the word conservation? Conservation means to save something, to conserve something. Okay, So soil erosion reduces the soil fertility. Therefore, it is important to protect the topsoil from erosion. Okay, the term conservation means the steps which are taken to protect our natural environment. The protection of soil from erosion is called soil conservation. Okay, so here are some various methods adopted to protect the soil from erosion are as follows. So the first method is planting trees or afforestation. So this afforestation, or we can also say it afforestation, is an effective method to prevent soil erosion. It is the opposite of deforestation. Roots of the plants hold the soil particles together and thus protect the soil from being carried away or being carried away easily by wind and water or being eroded. Okay. Trees, bushes, grass, and hedges along the boundaries of the farmland shields the topsoil and prevent soil erosion. So, for example, if a farmer is farming, then there are some remaining part of the land one of the topsoil area. Here, some kind of grasses should be grown on that place, on that particular place, so that the topsoil is shielded. It is protected. Okay, by that plant, and there is no kind of soil erosion. Okay, so afforestation or afforestation means to plant large amount of trees, and it is opposite of deforestation. Here you can see the figure, afforestation is happening. Next one is terrace farming. It is saying on hill slopes farming is done by cutting steps and terraces to reduce soil erosion. Okay, why? Because that is slopy area, that's why. So it is called step farming or terrace farming. This reduces the speed of water with which the soil flows downhill. Okay, here you can see the terrace farming. Next is by growing grass. When the land is not being used for farming, it is good to grow grass or some other creepers on it. Okay, the grass has spreading roots, it got spread easily, and it covers the topsoil and hold it firmly. So basically, you can also grow creepers over there. Creepers are what? Creepers are having that weak stem, and they are also having the thin stem. Okay, and for example, watermelon you can grow over on that leftover area so that the soil can't get eroded. Okay, next it is saying constructing dams and embankments. During a flood, running water washes away a large part of the topsoil. So dams and embankments are built on river area to check soil erosion by flood. Next, we're going to talk about one step ahead point. It is saying supporting organic farming by purchasing organic food and encouraging your local retailer to stock organic products can help in conservation. Okay. Next is soil pollution. What is soil pollution? So here you can see soil pollution is caused due to a number of human activities only. The main cause of soil pollution is dumping of solid, non-biodegradable waste on land, like for example plastic and all. The polluted land become less fertile then. Excessive use of pesticides and chemical fertilizers by farmers also pollute the soil. The soil pollution ultimately makes the land barren. Next is how one can prevent this soil pollution. How one can, how is that prevention of soil pollution? So here are some points. First point, plant grass and ground cover in huge expensive gardens and field. Okay. Next point, never leave embankments bare and exposed. One should cover that embankment. It should not be leave bare and exposed. Next, adopt a small piece of land which is outside your property as your own for plantation and cleanliness. Okay. Next is build a retaining wall or fence around your bare property. Okay, around that bare land which is your property. And next one, proper solid waste management should be done. Like the solid waste should not be thrown here and there. Okay, next is laws should be created for prevention of soil pollution. Some strict type of laws should be created. Then improve agriculture techniques and reduction of use of chemical fertilizer. Instead of it, manures can be used, natural one, and chemical, instead of using that chemical fertilizers and pesticides should be practiced. It should not be practiced. Okay, never forget the rule of 3 R's, that are reduce, reuse and recycle. Okay, next, create awareness among children and youngsters about afforestation. Okay, here in the image also you can see that how to prevent it. Like disposal should be there, recovery is there, control of using it, containment is there. And now you can see the children are planting more and more plants. Okay, like they are performing the process of afforestation. Next, we're going to talk about fact file. It has been estimated that total global soil erosion cost agriculture many hundred of billions of US dollar every year. Okay. Next one is scientific terms. First point, afforestation, the conversion of land into forest, especially for the commercial use. Next point, barren, too poor to produce any vegetation is the barren land. Next is earthquake. A sudden and violent shaking of the ground is known as earthquake. Next is embankment. A structure of the earth raised to prevent water from overflowing is embankment. Humus. The organic component of soil is humus. Next, overgrazing. Grazed grassland so heavily that the vegetation is damaged and the ground become liable to erosion. Next point, plowing. Turning up the soil by plow or machine is known as plowing. And the last one, vegetation. An act or process of growing plants is known as vegetation. Now students, we're going to cover some chapter at a glance point. First point is soil consists of 3 layers, that are topsoil, subsoil and bedrock. Next point, the process of carrying away of topsoil from one place to another by wind, rain or flowing water is called soil erosion. Next one, various human activities causes soil pollution. Next point, soil is formed by breaking up of rocks into very small particles. This is called weathering of rocks. Next point, soil can be conserved by afforestation, growing trees and grasses, terrace farming on hill slopes, and by constructing dams across the river area. Next, deforestation, plowing and overgrazing by animals increases soil erosion. So now students, we're going to do some exercises. So the first one, fill in the blanks with the correct word. So the first question, on hill slopes, soil erosion is prevented by which method? By terrace farming. So you have to write terrace farming in this blank. Next, breaking up of dash into tiny pieces forms soil. Breaking up of rocks into tiny pieces forms soil. So you have to write rocks here. Carrying away of the topsoil by wind, rain or flowing water is called dash. Is called soil erosion. You have to write soil erosion here. Next, soil erosion due to wind is greatest in areas where there is less dash, where there is less vegetation. So you have to write less vegetation here. Then excess of use of dash and dash in fields causes soil pollution. Excess of use of insecticides and pesticides. So you have to write this, insecticides and pesticides here. Now students, we're going to do your favorite part, that is matching patching. So here is the column A and there the column B. So it is saying soil erosion, it should be matched with what? Is it like weathering? Is it fertile? Is it planting trees, cutting off trees or low soil fertility? So soil erosion should be matched with low soil fertility. E1. And the second one, afforestation, it means planting trees. So the second one should be matched with planting trees, that is C1. Next, soil formation. Soil formation is like from that rock particle that soil formed. Okay, so that is known as weathering. So it should be matched with A, that is weathering. Next, humus. Humus means which fertile the soil. Okay, so it should be matched with fertile, B1. Next, deforestation. Deforestation means cutting trees. Okay, cutting of trees. So it should be matched with this cutting of trees, D1. Now students, we're gonna give one word for each of the following. So first one, the layer of soil with lump of rocks which are combined together, that is bedrock. You have to write bedrock here. Then the uppermost layer of the soil. The uppermost layer of the soil is topsoil. So you have to write topsoil in this one. Then settling of soil at the bottom of river. Settling of soil at the bottom of river, sediments. Okay. So you have to write sediments here. Next, next one, farming on hill slopes. Farming on hill slopes is terrace farming. So you have to write terrace farming here. Next one, planting trees in large number. That is afforestation. So you have to write afforestation here. Now, students, we're going to do next exercise, MCQ. Take the correct option. So the first question, the removal of the topsoil by water or wind is called dash. Is called soil erosion. Take that one. Next, which statement is not true? Deforestation is the major cause of soil erosion. Yes, this is correct. Soil erosion does not cause water pollution. No, this is wrong. Soil erosion reduces soil fertility. Yes, it reduces. Planting trees or afforestation is an effective method to prevent soil erosion. Yes, this is also correct. So that means B statement is wrong. So take that one. Soil erosion causes water pollution, but it is saying doesn't cause water pollution. Next question, soil erosion can be controlled by dash. Keeping the land barren. Overgrazing? No. Dumping the waste material? No. Growing grass? Yes. It can be controlled by growing grass. Take that one. Then the last question, the soil erosion dash reduces the fertility of the soil? Yes. Increases the fertility of the soil? No. Does not affect the fertility of the soil? No. May increase or decrease the fertility? No. Soil erosion reduces the fertility of the soil. So take first one, A1. I hope students, you understood the whole chapter, and now just read thoroughly this chapter and also practice MCQ and fill in the blanks, and also write down how you will conserve the soil. What are the methods you will take to conserve the soil? Till then students, take care. Bye bye.